Especially the third point. It concerns every one of us over 30. This year, the Australian Taxation Office, ATO, has an extra $1 billion in revenue budget. Do you know what that means? That 1 billion Australian dollars is going to be paid by you, me, and every taxpayer. Right now, every taxpayer has a sword hanging over their head, ready to collect extra taxes. The question is, when will this sword fall, and who will it strike first? I've summed up 5 changes that are quietly taking place. Today, I'm not going to talk about property. Instead, I'll discuss things that concern ordinary people. Because honestly, if you're just an average person, you really shouldn't take this lightly anymore. The first point is that penalty interest can no longer be deducted from your taxes. If you're a small business owner, or even just someone who collects rent, right? In the past, before you registered for GST, you might have filed a bias late, or the interest generated from back taxes, although it hurt. You could at least deduct a bit of tax from it. But starting from July 1st, 2025, this loophole, where you could use penalty interest to offset your taxes, has basically been closed off in many cases. For example, I have a client, David, right? He's been running a cafe in Sydney for over 10 years. Just a couple of weeks ago, he received a letter because he filed his GST late for 1 quarter. Not only does he have to pay the back taxes, but now he can't even deduct a single cent of the interest. He looked at the letter and just shook his head, saying it felt like he was being penalized twice. Then the ATO says it's for the sake of fairness, but to put it bluntly, I think it just means even the landlord has run out of surplus grain. The second point is, for regular employees, there's no difference, but for small business owners, it's another blow. What is it? Now, superannuation has to be paid directly on payday. This is called payday super, and it starts from July 1st, 2026. In the past, you only had to prepare the money once a quarter, but now you might have to pay every 2 weeks. I know a lot of friends who run small businesses, and they're used to using the payment cycle funds to manage their cash flow. With this new rule, a lot of people's financial rhythm has been thrown off. Don't think that just because you're an employee, this seems like a good thing for you. In reality, it makes no difference to you. Whether you get your superannuation a month earlier or 2 weeks earlier, what difference does it make to you? But for your boss, they now have to pay out money that was originally due in 3 months in advance. You need to be careful. This cash flow issue alone could cause your boss to lay people off. So I can't help but sigh. What does this change really mean for the ATO? It doesn't actually generate any extra tax revenue for the ATO, right? Instead, it squeezes small business owners' cash flow. And no one knows what kind of problems this will cause. I think it's quite possible that some bosses who can't handle it will end up laying people off. After all, there are many bosses who don't even have a clear grasp of their own cash flow. The third point is if your superannuation exceeds 3 million, you'll have to pay more tax. I've talked about this before and many people have heard about it, but where's the catch? The devil is in the details. Why? Because for the first time ever, they're going to tax your unrealized capital gains, that is, the increase in value, even if you haven't sold anything yet. What does that mean? Does it sound confusing? That's right. If you understood it, the ATO wouldn't be able to make money off you. This means that the investments in your superannuation account, even if you haven't sold them, as long as they've appreciated on paper, you'll have to start paying tax on that portion as well. I have a doctor friend whose entire life savings are in his super. He was planning to rely on this to enjoy a comfortable retirement. Now he gets angry just looking at his account statements. He told me, how is this any different from daylight robbery? He hasn't even received any cash, yet he has to pay the government first. This sudden policy